Are you a business looking for a fresh new way to reach potential customers? Well, you need to get airtime on IT TV, a 24/7 streaming and on-demand TV service online and on Roku. With Roku having a potential reach of 62 million people, it's a perfect opportunity to reach potential customers through affordable commercial and infomercial spots. Visit us online today at itnetwork.tv.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and thank you for joining me on another episode of the Roundtable Talk Show. I, of course, am your host, Sharifah Hardie, and I'm going to introduce you to some amazing guests, some amazing companies, and some amazing businesses. But as always, I ask you to go ahead and share the show because friends don't let friends miss out on the Roundtable Talk Show. But I do have to ask you to forgive me in advance. It's early in the morning in California, but I have a sweet tooth. I've been eating this red chocolate all morning. I'm excited. I'm ready to get on with the show. But if I get a little distracted today, blame it on the chocolate. I'm telling you, it's good. So go ahead and share this show. I guess you want to learn a little bit more about red chocolate. So we're going to start with an example.
Padre, non posso resistere alla tentazione. Adoro la cioccolata, ne mangio troppa e ho i sensi di colpa. È così piena di calorie, grassi, zuccheri.
Red, delicious chocolate with half the calories. No more guilty pleasure.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, guilty pleasure. It's fun. I'm going to go ahead and introduce my very first guest. And he is the one who has me just all hyped up today, eating all this sugar early in the morning, Mr. Glenn Gardone. Glenn is a serial entrepreneur and food enthusiast. Glenn Gardone has been in the CPG industry for over 3 decades. Glenn is currently CEO of Chocolate Distribution, LLC, and home of European crafted red chocolate. Good morning, Glenn. How are you?
I am fabulous, and thank you for having me on. It's greatly appreciated. Really excited to get a chance to sit and chat with you in the group and just learn a whole bunch of things about different people and get to know folks and make new friends, I guess is the best way to put it. I'm really excited to be here. As you said, 30 years. It's a long time. But I've actually working on what I feel is the prime of what I've been able to do in my career. As you stated, red chocolate, being a European chocolate, we actually introduced it to the United States about 2 years ago. And right now we've been on a phenomenal growth. You'll find us in retailers across the United States, Walmart, Rite Aid, your local grocery stores. We're on the Home Shopping Network, our own e-commerce site, which we have listed. It's been a phenomenal ride, and I appreciate you loving the product. And as we were talking earlier, I love getting a chance to show off what we do every day. I've got a passionate and committed team, and I'm thrilled to get the opportunity to lead it.
Absolutely. I'm over here enjoying this, Glenn. But I do have to, introduce my next guest, Miss Angelina. Angelina is going to share with us as well. Angelina is CEO, and it's the chocolate. Angelina Mahany is a CEO and founder of Angie Showroom and the creator of the Angie's Luxury Bags, a sustainable resell e-commerce platform. She is also a marketing professional, a business owner, and a fashion designer based in Ormond Beach, Florida. Good morning, Angelina. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you. I'm very excited to be here and meet new people. I'm a bit nervous just because it's actually the first time I'm doing something like that. I'm Russian, and probably you can hear my accent and everything, but I live right now in the United States. I've been traveling all over the world. I've been working in France. I was working in Russia as well. I was living in Cyprus, and then we relocated to US and recently from Texas to sunny Florida. So I am an owner and it's my baby. Angie's Showroom is actually a handmade luxury lingerie. I love what I'm doing. I do design the beautiful lingerie made of silk and Italian and French lace. So that's one of the projects that currently I'm passionate about. And my other business, which Sharifah mentioned, I'm actually a reseller. I'm into fashion all my life. So I do resell luxury pre-owned and new goods, as well as Italian clothing. So it's my kind of a hobby aside from my, lingerie business. And again, I'm very happy to be here and see you guys today.
Well, I can't wait to learn more about you, Angelina. That was a wonderful introduction. I am going to come back to you. I want to go ahead and introduce my next guest, Dr. Robin Buckley. Dr. Robin Buckley, she from Insights Group Psychological and Coaching Services. Dr. Robin helps high achieving women thrive in their careers and relationships. The founder of Insights Group Psychological and Coaching Services, she has a PhD in clinical psychology and developed a proprietary coaching model that uses a business framework and cognitive behavioral strategies to support executive women and high performance couples in creating and executing concrete strategic plans for their futures. Good morning, Dr. Robin. How are you?
Good morning. I am so excited to be here with you and all of the guests and learning more about what everybody does. I work primarily, my work started with executive women who are also business owners. And the more I worked with them, the more I realized that we couldn't just focus on their professional life. We had to also consider their relationships because they were intertwined. And so because of that initial work, I created a model for helping couples achieve the relationships that they want. So I work with couples who are in a rut or couples who are just starting a commitment, and we create a business plan for their marriages. So after they work with me, they walk out with an electronic copy of a business plan that outlines everything from the start of their relationship with their mission statement all the way through things like performance improvement plans and annual reviews, everything that they're used to in business and have used successfully in business to achieve the same success in their relationship. So I'm so excited to be here to learn more about the guests and share more about what I do.
Wow. And I thought I was excited about meeting Glenn. I'm like, I got some questions for you, but hey, I have to go ahead and introduce my next guest, Miss Samantha Tollworthy of Teddy Locks. Samantha is the founder of sustainable sock company, Teddy Locks. She's recycled 10,000 plastic bottles into socks and saves more than 1,500 pounds of waste from landfill. Good morning, Samantha. How are you?
Good morning, Sharifah. Thank you so much for having me on the show. As you said, I'm the founder of Teddy Locks, the world's best sustainable socks. They are ethically knit in North Carolina from recycled plastic bottles, which we collect from the East Coast, and upcycled textiles, which we save from North Carolina manufacturing floors. I actually used to be a wildlife TV producer, getting to travel to some of the most remote places on the planet, and suffering from deep eco-anxiety, I decided that I needed to actively fight the war on waste wherever I went, whether it was to remote islands, up mountains, into the jungle. There was always single-use plastic. And it was no different back in the city where I was at the time living in New York. I saw that we were all consumed by convenience. So I thought, how can I help everybody to lower their footprints with a product that is attainable to all of us, something that we all use and will make a difference to the planet, but also to how we feel about the choices that we make. So all of the socks, like I said, are knit by family-run businesses in North Carolina. They are insanely soft. Here's a pair of our dark purple rib socks. Each individual sock is made from one plastic bottle, and they really are helping everybody to lower their footprint.
Okay, I'm confused. How did you get plastic bottles to become that soft?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And when I'm doing markets, people love to feel the socks. So definitely check out some of our retailers if you want to know exactly how soft they are. But we chop up the bottles into tiny flakes and then we melt that down. And then they're blended with Tencel, which is extremely breathable and thermoregulating. And that helps to soften the polyester essentially.
Wow. Glenn, do you have any of those socks?
You know, I don't, but I'll tell you right now, after this, I'm going to go pick up a pair. I promise you.
Yes.
You won't regret it, Glenn.
You know,
I promise you that.
Sharifah, think about it. Who doesn't need soft socks in their life?
They are the best stocking stuffers, certainly. This year, I know most people will be looking to shop small business, local business. There's big supply chain issues. So the more local that you can shop, and if you can find US small businesses to support, especially away from Amazon, then you'll be doing good this year.
Dr. Robin?
Yes.
You have any of those socks?
I don't, but I'm already thinking, okay, my kids for Christmas, my staff. So I think between the three other guests, some of my list is going to be accomplished.
Not to mention the listeners. You see that, Samantha? You see what we do on the Roundtable Talk Show? We just sold out your whole store.
Good. Yeah, no, we've got an exciting opportunity coming up at the end of the month. So people definitely don't want to miss out on that. To be the first to hear, make sure you sign up to the newsletter at teddylocks.com. You get 10% off your first order, but then you'll also be the first to know of this contractually silenced woman and what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
I think between Angelina, Samantha, and Glenn, they should do a group commercial where they're highlighting like a woman in Angelina's lingerie wearing the socks, eating the chocolate. Like that's like the perfect world.
Right. And Dr. Robin and I are going to send you all the invoice for our genius ideas. Okay, Angelina, we're going to send it to you.
Thanks. Yeah, actually, it's a very, very interesting business because I'm looking into sustainability as well. It's a little bit harder with lingerie because I'm still focusing on, high quality and, soft materials on skin because, women are wearing lingerie every day. And it's the first piece they actually put on in the morning, right? So, but it is very, very crucial right now. And I'm also looking for materials that can be recycled, for instance, for pajamas or nightwear, nightgowns, and all of that. So it is cool that you're making something like that. And it is a big question right now. And I'm also into, saving the world. And I'm amazed.
Well, Angelina, we're going to help you, but Glenn has some thoughts for you.
It's interesting. You talk about saving the world, and we each have to do our own part. That goes without saying. Red itself actually started about 2 decades ago by 2 families, master chocolate makers, multiple generations. And being privately owned, we can control our own destiny. We're not part of that big, corporate machine, so to speak, not saying one thing, but doing another. And, you happen to mention about, just being able to save the world. And one of the things that Red, which is a focus, probably one of our top focuses, is we are focused on becoming a zero carbon footprint company globally.
Wow.
Now, our facility where we actually get our products from is already 80% off the grid, through renewables and sustainable energies. And for instance, everything we do here, we count our carbon footprint and we report it back to our organization. And we have to show how we are helping to, again, lower the overall footprint. I think it's important. It's one thing to have a product, but to have a product with meaning, as I always tell people, I've been fortunate in my life. I've been with some pretty amazing brands and surrounded by some great people. But if you truly can't believe in what you're doing, it's real tough to get up on a Monday morning,
Yes, I definitely agree. But I want to come back to Angelina for a minute because, to me, in my little world, most people wear lingerie at nighttime, right? And so if you throw on, take off the socks, because we've been wearing the socks all day, but you take off the socks, you put on the lingerie, and you throw in a little chocolate. Then we're going to talk to Dr. Robin about it. What you think, Angelina?
No, I mean, actually, for me, lingerie is more like why I created the company. It was about because when I moved, sorry, like a little bit back in the days when I moved here in the United States, you know, everyone is knowing about Victoria's Secret, but that's basically it. But I came from Russia, and European countries as well. We are very into like lingerie and beautiful things and laces and silks. And I was like, okay, now I'm here. I'm living in the United States, so I want to like bring something beautiful and actually unique, because we make handmade lingerie, which means that only like less than 10% of people worldwide are, you know, wearing our pieces, as well as we're a tiny atelier where you can, you know, produce a certain amount of lingerie. And the point was that I wanted to create something that is both comfortable and actually very feels nice on your skin, but every woman, I guess, and maybe man, they want to feel, you know, sexy as well, and they want to feel comfortable and confident when then, you know, going to work, for example. And every day when we put on clothes, we actually start, you know, from lingerie, from our underwear, and when you put something like that on yourself, I guess it helps you, you know, to feel a little bit more confident, and again, still comfortable. That was the main point. And of course, socks. Yes, you do wear. We don't really wear here socks a lot in Florida, just because, you know, it's like 80 degrees all the time. So
well, let me help you out, Angelina. Okay, because I'm in California. We don't wear that many socks at all. But I'm gonna give you. You got the daytime market. I'm gonna give you the nighttime market in California. Take all the comfortable away. We're not interested in that. Let's get back to the sexy, and you're gonna sell some lingerie. I'm helping you out. Let's talk to her, Dr. Robin. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I see it with the couples that I work with, that, you know, my tagline is, what if you could achieve all that you want? And people forget, because we're taught that asking for what we want is selfish, and it's not selfish. It's selfish when we demand other people make our lives the way we want it. But if we're working towards it, so if you want good chocolate or soft socks or lingerie, asking and saying, this is how I want my life to feel, whether it's externally or whether it's internally. And these couples are amazing because they've forgotten to ask themselves, what do I want as a partner? And then asking their partner, what do you want? What do we want as a couple? And so I think that, you know, when I'm listening to these other three guests, this is part of the work I do, is just what makes your life the way you want your life to be. And sometimes it is as really simple as, I'd really like to go on a trip, or I'd really like us to regularly sit down and have a good piece of chocolate together, which sounds simple, but when couples connect, however it looks, that's what strengthens the foundation of their relationship, which is just how we do it with business. We strengthen the foundation. Glenn and Angelina and Samantha did not start their businesses just like on a whim. Let me just do this. Like, I'm just going to see what happens. They all had a business plan, I would assume, and they follow their business plan. And when the business plan needs to be tweaked, they do that. But not many people start their relationships with a plan. There's a lot of planning for the wedding, for the 8-hour day, a lot of money spent there, but nobody sits down to actually plan the marriage, the decades of being together. And the business plans that the couples create with me is doing just that, not to just focus on the wedding day, but the actual marriage. And I really love some of the ideas from these guests, because some of what I talk about with couples is incentives, just like you do when you talk with your boss. Like, what are the incentives that motivate you? What are the incentives that, you know, you appreciate? And couples sometimes forget to ask each other, you know, what do you really love that I do, or how do I show you that I love you? And concretely, couples can define it so that it's not a guessing game anymore.
You know, really Dr. Robin, it's interesting, Dr. Robin, you say that. I've got two executives, over 50% of my executive team is female. not on purpose. It's just they were chosen based on their abilities. And we have a saying around here: "What is our reason for being?"
Exactly.
And if you think about it, whether it be your personal relationship, whether it be your business relationship, your relationship with the consumer, all those different pieces, it's true. People hear the word business plan and they get nervous and overwhelmed. A business plan could be 4 simple lines,
Right.
and as long as you truly believe in that. And I think that's what we try to do here at Red is, everybody has their reason for being, and how do you form that perfect partnership, whether it be, and again, they say work-life balance. Really what that means is leave the aggravation where you got it and work with that person or that group or that situation to be able to fix that aggravation. So this way, it doesn't dive into your other parts of your life. For me personally, I look at my life really as a car engine with 3 wheels on it. And each one of those wheels, for my engine to work properly, those wheels have to be driving. And one of them is personal, one of them is business, and one of them is health. And, with personal, it could be financial, and business is financial, and so on and so forth. But as long as those 3 wheels are spinning properly, your engine will run well.
Yeah.
I want to know where the other wheel is, though.
So you have your personal, which should be, again, your relationship with your significant other, your children, what's going on in your life there, and financial. The business, because again, do you like your job? Do you like what you're doing? Do you like the people you work with? All these different pieces. And that third wheel is in of its own health, because health really, it overrides everything else. You can have a great life in business, an amazing partner, but if you don't have your health, things can go awry rather quickly.
Yeah, we're successful.
We spend so much time at work, and unfortunately, our lives, especially as small business owners, our lives do cross over. So I think it is really important to have open dialogue with your nearest and dearest, but also to be able to separate the two. When I was choosing to leave my dream job, I had a job that most people want to know much more about. Where have you been? What did you do? What have you made? And to give that up, sacrifice a paycheck, and then be supported on the other hand by my husband, and him also taking those sacrifices, knowing that he was then letting himself in for, a wife that was suddenly going to be all consumed by socks.
Yeah, I think it's that combination of head and heart. Whether you're creating a business or creating a marriage, it's bringing in, yes, the passion, the inspiration to create the best chocolate or the most beautiful lingerie or the comfiest socks. But passion is not enough to sustain a business or to sustain a marriage. You need to have, my perspective is, you need to have a plan, a concrete plan, whether it's simple or detailed, so that it creates the focus for the passion. So it's a combination of that head-heart connection for whatever you're building, business or marriage.
Okay, so my question for you, Dr. Robin, is what about all the single ladies? The majority of the top achievement executives that I know are all single. Do you have a coaching plan for us?
Yeah, actually I do. I'm writing a book about it, it's called Marriage LLC. And the very first chapter is, what do you do to even get to the point of identifying your ideal partner? And in business, we call it the ideal customer or client avatar. We figure out who is it exactly that we want to market to, that we want to, buy our products. Well, it doesn't have to be different with dating. That, most people just kind of go out in the dating world or join a dating app and do that without really sitting down to say, what am I actually looking for? Who am I actually looking for? What is the template that I'm going to use? Not because you're going to find 100%. I mean, that's unrealistic. But too many people make concessions, and then they wonder why the relationships didn't work for them. And it's because they're not basing it, again, on a plan. So I actually work with the female executives and business owners that I work with who are single, but say, what, I would like a companion. We create their ideal companion avatar. And it's a very similar process that you would use in business to really articulate and then define where might you be connected to that person. So it's very strategic. And some people shy away from that because they're like, no, love is about emotion and it's supposed to be about, sexual attraction. I'm like, absolutely. But those are the bells and whistles after you have a plan. So yes, I love working with single women because they are so much fun, especially because they know how to articulate it in business And now we're just applying it to their personal lives.
See,
I've never thought about, a plan for your relationship. It's very interesting.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I am a person who actually like to organize everything. And I do like plans, and especially for businesses. Yes, I do have business plan. Like the issue that I'm having with plans is that they have to be adjusted all the time because, life happens, something is not working and you kind of like changing it constantly. But definitely, I agree with everyone that you have to have a plan in order to achieve certain goals or, amend it in the future. And I wanted also to say that I love the philosophy of Glenn about 3 wheels, because currently I'm actually a little bit behind on my personal wheel as I'm working too much and too hard. And I'm trying to, find this balance between health and personal life, to spend more time with my kid, with my husband, and to spend less time on work. And right now it's a little bit of an issue for me, but I do work on it, and I do understand that actually that's probably the best thing you have to do in order to succeed in the future.
Yeah, I think if I could jump in, letting go of the idea of balance, I think that concept really leaves a lot of people feeling like they're not doing good enough. It's that perfectionistic mentality that there has to be this ideal balance, and there isn't a balance. Or people that say, I give 100% every day to my kids and my spouse and my business. I'm like, baloney, you don't. There's no way to give 100% in 3 different areas or 6 different areas of your life. You only have 100%. So some days your kids get 50% and your spouse is lucky to get 10 and your business might get 30. But every day it kind of recalibrates. And, the people that come to that idea, it reduces that pressure that no, you can't give 100% in all areas of your life every single day. So, and you find
I'm like this.
Go ahead.
Say more, Robin. Tell me more, Robin.
No, it's not about balance. It's about harmony and accepting that you do your best. And some days you do optimal and amazing. And some days you're like, ugh, we're just done. And it's okay to let that ideal of doing it all. And Glenn, no offense, particularly as women, when there's these old standards of being a perfect mom, perfect spouse, wearing the lingerie, but being at soccer practice, and the new standards for women of being these powerhouse leaders, innovative, it's a lot of weight on our shoulders. And it's okay to say, you know what? I did pretty good as a mom today. Nobody died. Everybody had their needs met. I'm check that box. And I just don't think that, I think women more so than men, not that men don't have it, Glenn. I think there are different issues with men, but women just have a lot of pressure that they in time learn to let go, hopefully.
Well, Dr. Robin, I'll tell you, and of course, none taken. I think it's important to remember that a lot of the pressure is self put on, whether it be male, female, whomever.
Agreed.
You have to decide for yourself what matters. And sometimes I think people, no matter what gender, they've decided too much is important. And that's when you get this sensory overload, or this nervousness, or this desire to want to be perfect. Because as you said, nobody's perfect. No human is perfect. It's that simple. It's pretty simple, guys. Eat some chocolate and relax. I tell people all the time.
I love chocolate.
I tell people all the time, you know what? It's going to be okay. As you know, the health is most important, but everything else in life, if you got an issue with a family member, an issue with business, it will work itself out if you give it the amount of focus it needs. Don't over focus on it. Don't over worry about it. And I say this, and my wife, who I've been married for 24 years, is probably laughing right now, watching the screen, saying, start listening to your own words, Glenn, and stop worrying so much. Because, growing up with an Italian mom, God rest her soul, when a siren went off, she counted her children to make sure everybody was okay. That's what happens when you have an Italian mom. But I guess going back to, it's up to the person to make sure that you don't overload yourself,
Yes.
and to know that life is so short. I mean, folks, if we're lucky, we're here 90 years, and that's some of the lucky ones. A lot of us aren't that lucky. You know what? Just wake up. My whole goal, I tell people all this time, young, old, because I get asked questions often about, my career and all. You know what my goal is? To wake up on a Monday morning and be satisfied.
Yeah.
I never wanted my life to be that one where I was on a Sunday night going, oh man, Monday starts anew. And I'm not saying it's every Sunday, because again, I'm not perfect, but that's just my goal, and I try to surround myself with people that are, that can more like-minded like me in a positive aspect. Because, if you surround yourself with negativity, guess what? You become negative.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take Mr. Glenn's advice. I'm going to eat some chocolate, some red chocolate, while we stop for a brief commercial break.
You need jordansrooter.com. Get free estimates, 24-hour service, special discounts for seniors and veterans. That's jordansrooter.com. Have a home repair or some remodeling you need done? No problem. We can handle all that too. Give us a call today at 800-300-0358. At Jordan's Rooter, we take pride in our work and always make sure to get the job done right the first time. That's jordansrooter.com. We want to be your Mr. Fix-It.
Padre, non posso resistere alla tentazione. Adoro la cioccolata, ne mangio troppa e ho i sensi di colpa. È così piena di calorie, grassi, zuccheri.
Red, delicious chocolate with half the calories. No more guilty pleasure.
I've had this problem.
Big problem.
I really needed
a good business consultant.
And I kept searching and searching.
There are so many choices.
It's really hard to find one that has all the things on my list. But I finally did it.
Yes. Thank you.
If you are looking for one as well, look no further.
Here's a really good one.
Just use mine. Use mine.
I'm very satisfied.
Definitely recommend. Problem gone. Thank you.
If you are just now tuning in to the Roundtable Talk Show, you have missed a lot of fun. I definitely recommend you watch it from the beginning, because we have learned a lot, we have laughed a lot, but I want to go back into the conversation, and I have a question for Dr. Robin. You were mentioning, because I'm taking notes, I want to learn about this business plan, even though your book isn't coming out. Where can someone go on your website if they want more information about, especially the single people, the couples like Glenn, y'all been together forever, y'all be all right. I need to know where the single people, no, for real, this is about me. This show is all about me. Like, where can I go and get me a man, Dr. Robin?
Can't help you with the man or a woman, depending on people's preferences. But what I would say is that what I love most about the work that I do in terms of coaching is that I hold free strategy sessions. And when people are considering how to align the success in their business to make a more successful personal life, whether it's in a relationship or sometimes just on their own, it's just set up a call with me, because I love talking to people to, first of all, make sure that my approach works the best for them and is going to achieve the best results. Again, return on investment. If you're going to take time and money to work with me, I want to make sure that my approach aligns with kind of who you are. So whether it's someone just saying, you know what, I don't know who I want, but I do know I want a relationship, or it's couples, reach out. You can get to my website, drrobinbuckley.com, all one word, no periods. And you can sign up right there to have a half-hour free strategy session with me to see if our work together could get the results you want.
That's right. See, I'm going to have to call.
I want one too.
You want one too, Angelina?
Yeah.
Anytime. I will also say, Sharifah, that anybody who watches either live or the recorded version, you're going to get 50% off your first 2 sessions. So the strategy session is always free. And then the first 2 sessions out after that will be 50% off. So.
Okay. But then I need the one for me where I'm going to call you every morning and say, Dr. Robin, can you help me out?
I had a client that after she did the work with me and she was single, when she started dating based on her ideal or her ICA, she would call me. She's like, I just want a 15-minute session, that she would pay for. And we would kind of run through her template, so it was fresh in her mind and some of the other strategies we had talked about. And she would call me before every date. So that's what she needed.
What's that plan called?
The plan?
Yeah, we're going to give it a name because that's the plan I need. That's the everyday plan.
Date night plan.
For me, the way I phrased it, it was really just, how did I call it? I think it was the engagement session where she reconnected to her plan, reconnected to her ICA, and then kind of really motivational, just boosting up her confidence, because she was an amazing woman and there was no reason not to just go out there and tackle the date.
I like Samantha, we're going to call it the date night plan.
Yeah, exactly. The pre-motivational date night plan. Yeah.
There you go. Some acronym.
We all need a cheerleader. And I think probably part of that session was, someone having her back, possibly a friend or, a family member that maybe is a bit bored of hearing all the stories, trials and tribulations. I think sometimes it is really good to have a separate voice who is separate from your personal or professional life.
Right. And you referred to it, Samantha. You said your husband was part of this process when you transitioned out of what people would have said was your dream job. Sometimes you're absolutely right. People close to us support us, but maybe they don't want to always have every conversation about our business or about looking for a partner or the problems in our marriage. So you're right. Having outside people, whatever that means, consultants, coaches, therapists, I think is really valuable sometimes to get the pressure off of our significant others. I'm sure Glenn's wife of 24 years sometimes is like, okay, go talk to someone else about chocolate.
Hey, you know what? Everybody should talk about chocolate.
I agree.
Everybody should enjoy a little chocolate. Everybody should calm down. I was actually, I got the opportunity. I've been on the Home Shopping Network probably 9 times this year. Great group over there. And Marlo, one of the guest hosts, Good Eats, we were on about 2 weeks ago. And we were talking and we both agreed, you know what? If you're going to do a little chocolate, grab a little wine and just relax. And that's the whole idea is, I love the fact that I get to be part of those positive moments in people's lives, because if you think about how you interact, and Dr. Robin, as you're saying, and you have a heavy interaction with folks, and myself, while it may be fleeting, at least I know it's enjoyable because we bring that satisfaction. And that was always something that was important to me as a leader, because again, nothing against some of the other consumer packaged brands out there, but I couldn't sell cigarettes. That wouldn't be for me.
Right.
I want to sell love. I want to sell passion. I want to sell enjoyment.
I totally agree with you, Glenn, there. And one of the big things with Teddy Locks is I wanted it to be a product that people loved. It wasn't just like a gift that you give once. It's going to be your favorite socks. They're going to perform for you, be durable. They're going to be comfortable, soft. And then every day you can put your socks on and there's this little note inside that I left that says made from recycled plastic bottles. How cool is that? So every day when you put your favorite socks on, you pull them out the drawer. There's nothing better than that clean sock, new sock feeling, is there? But even better when you know that you've done good every time you wake up and you get dressed in the morning. So I totally agree with you. For me, it was definitely about the positive impact. I try not to measure success on revenue or sales, maybe a bit of a cliche, but instead I like to measure it on the number of plastic bottles that we're transforming, the amount of people's lives and their changes towards sustainable living or the choices that they're making, how they're being inspired, and the broader, bigger impact beyond, just choosing better socks.
Okay, so I'm still on the wash. How many times can you wash them?
The socks?
Yes.
Forever. My poor husband is married to a lady who runs a sock company and he hasn't had a new pair for 2 years. He's not allowed them. He runs home in them every day. He works out in them. He wears them to work. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with his socks. They're still his favorites. No holes, nothing. So he's not allowed a new pair. And so when we had all the new collection come in, he was pretty mortified. And we've got 5 new styles coming out just for the holidays. So he's not getting any.
What's really interesting, Samantha, is Angelina is actually going to send her new outfits to your husband too, so he could wear those.
Yeah, my husband loves socks, so I will definitely buy some pairs for holidays. That's for
sure. I think it's like, especially this time of year, like everybody loves a pair of socks in their stocking, but it's even better if you can get everybody involved with something like this. Everyone's going to be talking about this. Everyone, you know, when you open this up, you're not just going to go, great, a pair of socks. So you're going to see on the label, it says made from recycled plastic bottles. And just like you did, they're going to say, well, how the hell do they do that? Where are they made? Like, let me feel them. Oh my gosh, they're soft. So there's definitely, you know, sometimes the holidays we can sit there in silence, not knowing what to ask, you know, Uncle Ted or Auntie Jean, what we're going to talk to them next about. But at least this is another conversation stuff.
You know, it's funny you mention that, Samantha, and you know, Angelina and myself, us working with consumers the way we do, and especially the holidays coming up. You know, we all know those folks that happen to be hard to shop for. We love them dearly, but they're almost impossible to shop for. So if you could, again, whether it be a chocolate, who doesn't love getting chocolate? Whether it be the socks, whether it be, you know, a beautiful outfit. You know, these are the things that that brighten people's lives, that's make them smile. And as you said, Samantha, a conversation around it, whether it be a European chocolate, whether it be a beautiful pair of socks that is helping, whether it be beautiful outfits, you know, these things. And then Robin, I've got a few relatives I think I have to send to you because they're going to be coming over too, and they definitely need therapy. I don't know if you're going to help them. It may be a team of doctors, but we're going to definitely have something for you.
You know what I love most about this conversation? When you think about it, and you think about, like, you know, you've got a coach, you've got, you know, a fashion designer, you've got a, you know, a sustainable sock company, chocolate company, and a talk show host and a business consultant. And I wonder how many people are like, this is a weird combination. Like, what's the connection? And all I keep hearing from all five of us is that our passion for our specific work makes everybody happy. Like, in different ways, we make people's lives better. And I just love that so much, that you can look at these disparate topics or products or services, and yet that's what we all have, that passion for what we do and what we promote. And we all of our services or products make people's lives happier. And I love that.
Yeah, I think that's the main point of actually having a company and being an entrepreneur, just because you're doing what you love, and that's what you said. Yes, I 100% agree that you need to do something that you love and you actually help people or make them happier. And yes, I do love everything, socks, chocolate, and I do use a therapist as well, to be honest. Recently, I started to see some therapists, just because, as you mentioned, you don't want to like put all the pressure to your loved ones, to your husband, your family. You actually need some time to speak, you know, with someone else. And yeah, it's what I'm doing. So I do appreciate what you're doing for other people as well, just because it actually helps a lot. And I do recommend other business owners, especially because we do have a lot of stress every day. So yeah, we need to have someone like you to help us.
Thanks.
Yes. So what you do is you just get a basket, Angelina, and you put a box of chocolates, you put some sustainable socks, and then you put a gift card for Dr. Robin. So after they finish that night, they go in there and they have a session with Dr. Robin.
Yeah, definitely.
With their socks on, eating their chocolate, knowing there's some beautiful lingerie waiting for them or their partner later on.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then the wine bottle as well, because I liked what Glenn said, because it's what I'm doing in the evening. I have chocolate and I do have a glass of wine. I love wine.
We all need a glass of wine in our lives. We all need it. Sometimes you need a glass and a half. It's according to the day, but definitely a glass of wine. Always have a little red behind. And I'll tell you, Sharifah, let me help your audience and everybody by giving them a little fun. So if you go to our Instagram, which is at Red Chocolate, you can also see our website at red-chocolate.com, where you can get to our Instagram and Facebook. The first 3 people that send us a note letting us know that they saw us here on the show, we're going to be sending them out a beautiful gift packet for the holidays. And I actually grabbed one because I love showing this off. So this product right here, this is our diamond praline. And I'm going to, you have to excuse me because this is like one of my kids. So I get really excited. So our diamond praline, actually, we hold 10 global patents. And one of the patents is actually on the shape. And the reason is on the shape. So this isn't a marketing play. This is a reason. I told you we're owned by master chocolate makers, master chocolatiers. So when you put one of our pralines in your mouth, which is actually only 33 calories. So if you eat 3 of them, which is a serving, and if you stand up and sit down at your desk, you pretty much burn half the calories, if that's important to you. But the reason is because when you put the praline in your mouth, because of the different geometric designs, and on a diamond, there is no flat space. That's why we use a diamond. You'll have an explosion of chocolate in your mouth. And it's all about the journey. I tell people all the time, we are not American chocolate. American chocolate, it is what it is. You know, we've taken 8 pounds of sugar and turned it into a bar. That's not who we are. When you're eating European chocolate, true fine European chocolate, it's about the journey. Whether you have our orange and almond, which is my favorite, our dark chocolate orange and almond, you'll taste the hint of orange. You'll taste a bit of almonds. It's not like eating a nut cluster. And the reason I bring that up is because if you take, and guys, I've already got Friday planned for me. I know it's only Thursday right now, but I got Friday planned. I am going to be sitting down. I'm going to get myself a pair of socks. I am going to have a glass of wine. I am going to send my wife to your site, Angelina. And Dr. Robin, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you a call about 7 o'clock at night. You better book us like 3 hours. I think everything's okay, but I just want to make sure my wife is too. But I'll tell you what, guys.
I like you, Glenn.
I love that.
I tell you guys, you know what? It's funny, Dr. Robin, because when I first came on, I saw everybody. I was like, ooh, I don't know if we're going to be able to spend an hour. I wonder how much we're going to have in common. And if you think about it and you break it down to its most simplistic form, doesn't everybody have something in common?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I wish more people in the world saw that, because I think that if we could recognize the similarities rather than focusing on the differences, so many of the world's issues would be eradicated. It's as simple as that. You break down that us versus them mentality, it just becomes all of us. And it's, I think it'd be very powerful.
Agreed.
I definitely agree. One of the premises behind the Roundtable Talk Show is, you ever go to a networking meeting, and you may be going to the networking meeting, it's the group of doctors or the group of sock makers. But if the meeting starts at 1 o'clock and you get there about 12:40 and there are other people sitting around, you always go, well, what do you do? Well, what do you do? Or what are you into? Or what do you like? And there's this 20-minute conversation that goes on prior to the meeting. And I was like, oh, I want to capture that magic. And for me, the Roundtable Talk Show is capturing that magic, because we all have, and I've over, hundreds of episodes, we've proven that we have more in common than we do that is different. I wanted to go back to Samantha for a minute, because again, I do definitely agree with Glenn and Dr. Robin as far as the similarities. But it's easy. If Glenn came to me and he said, I want to start a chocolate business, I wouldn't go, oh, you're mad. Or, Angelina wants to be sexy in her lingerie. I wouldn't be like, okay, what are you talking about? Or Dr. Robin's been to school, she's got her degree, she wants to counsel people. But I know somebody had to be like, okay, sustainable socks, Samantha. Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, so I'm actually Green America certified now. That happened this year.
Oh, cool.
There's only 3 sock companies in the US that are Green America certified, and I'm the only company in the US and actually globally who's doing what I'm doing. So this was definitely is extremely unique. It took me 404 days to develop the socks. I should actually ask the question, how many yarns do you think go into knitting one sock? So how many different yarns?
404.
That's a lot of yarns. So there are 5 different types of yarn. So like normally if you knit a jumper, you've just got one ball of wool and you're knitting it on your 2 sticks. But there are 5 different types of yarns. Every single one of them is made from recycled fiber. And that was something that was really important to me. If I was giving up the dream job that was on one hand helping to promote sustainability by encouraging people to love the natural world, I needed to make sure that I was literally standing behind a product that I believed in. So I work with all of my supply chain directly. They're all on my phone, WhatsApp, in direct contact with me. All of the blends, all the technology, which is why it took so long, is specially made for Teddy Locks. And then that means that they perform. That means that I could make a product that people would truly love, and they were truly tried and tested. So yes, they are completely unique. And although in appearance, maybe like a sock that we're all used to seeing, but are actually nothing like the socks that we, that I used to have in my drawers. I now, as you can imagine, only have Teddy Locks in my sock drawer.
That is awesome.
Are they made for all ages?
Yeah, so at the moment we have, we cater from size 3.5 up to a size 13. And I'm hoping that in the new year we'll get into infant socks. My daughter actually has the first samples, which is super cute. So we've got the 2 sizes of each sock. So his and hers is great for our couples as well. And then hopefully soon the whole family will be able to wear coordinating socks as well.
Do you realize that the 3 of you, it seems like a basic premise for Angelina, Samantha, and Glenn is not wanting to accept the standard, that just the regular chocolate wasn't good enough, that socks that were not supporting, green efforts were not acceptable, and lingerie that didn't have that care and that attention to detail and the authenticity of craftsmanship wasn't acceptable. I think that's really, really just inspiring and impressive for the 3 of you.
Thank you, Dr. Robin. Thank you very much. If you're going to be involved, you need to be involved with something you believe in and you love, because we are going to spend a lot of time doing it. At times, we do spend more time at work than we do with our family, and it's just life. It's what needs to be done. So if you can't have passion in doing it, tough. It's tough.
Yeah, I think it's also important to note that, like, consumers nowadays, like, we're more educated than ever before on what is available to us, and how when we spend our money, we're voting for the world that we want to live in. So that is why we are seeing small businesses, more small businesses growing, because we have the support of the people. It comes from demand. I saw a space in the market, and the people out there are speaking and saying, hey, yeah, we need you around. So we'll support you guys. We don't want to support the people that aren't paying a fair living wage, that are not using organic or recycled materials. They want to make sure that we've got a sustainable future, a happy future, and a positive place. So yeah, I totally agree that you got to have the passion, but we also need the people behind us. And thankfully, we are seeing that consumers want change.
Yeah, and it's not easy. I mean, we don't need to have passion, but unfortunately it's not easy. Like, we overcome so many obstacles all the time. I mean, especially, I guess it's for everyone, but I'm talking about myself, and I do have bumps every single day, like with production, with materials, and with COVID, it's like extremely hard, to find things, and all the shipping companies and everything is in delay. And it's like struggle every single day. But we have to love what we do, because otherwise, I guess I would give up like 2 years ago and say, that's it. Like, I'm done. Because we have issues right now, a lot of them.
I love Veronica's comment there. It's so nice to see that. And especially this week is the climate change conference, and there's a lot of eyes right now on the UK, on Glasgow, and all of our global leaders to see what change that they're lining up. Time will tell. So we've got top-down change, and then we've got us guys up, pushing up, demanding change. So I love that. I love seeing your comment there, Veronica.
Well, I'll tell you, Samantha, at least based on my experience, most of the change is going to come from folks like us.
Well, yes, Glenn.
I mean, it's that simple. If we expect others to do it for us, it'll never get done, and it won't get done at the level we want. So, change is good if it's done properly and for the right reasons. And as you said, with all the differences, everything going on in this life, we have to consider the needs of everybody. And again, it's up to us ourselves to be able to satisfy ourselves. We shouldn't expect others, as Dr. Robin said, to satisfy ourselves. So I think if we just all, again, focus on what our goals are, our quote unquote business plan, as we started in the very beginning, I think this world is going to be a better place day after day after day. I've got 2 amazing boys that both want to make this world better than when they first came in. I think it's up to Veronica and ourselves and everybody else to say, okay, you know what? Let's do what's right.
Yes.
Let's do what's
absolutely. So I need a favor from you, Glenn. So when Dr. Robin helps me find that man, I need my engagement ring to be in one of those diamonds. can't tell him that I asked, right? It's just a personal favor.
Well,
Okay.
I will tell you, the one thing I can commit to for you here is on March 31st, you'll be getting a birthday gift. That I commit to you.
You are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. This has been one of the best shows. I won't say ever because the people get mad at me, but this has been one of the best shows ever. I've had a lot of fun. We are coming down to the last few minutes of the show. And what I love to do at the end of every show is just simply allow my guests the opportunity to speak directly to the audience, to everyone who is watching this show live, as well as everyone who is watching in the archives, and let them know what you want them to take away from your appearance here today. And we are going to start with you, Samantha.
Thanks so much, Sharifah. Yeah, make sure you come and follow me on Instagram. That's Teddy Locks USA. An easy way for you to remember the brand is Teddy Locks is actually Cockney rhyming slang for socks, so it rhymes. You should definitely check out teddylocks.com, especially for you guys. If you use code FEELGOOD, you get 15% off orders over $50 and free shipping. We almost never have sales as a sustainable brand, so definitely grab that one while you can, especially as we're now approaching the holidays. And just remember, it's a real person behind the brand. So if you've ever got any questions, I'm your girl. I can help you with your size, color preferences, or answer any questions that you might have about the recycling or the production process of how we make insanely soft Teddy Locks socks. Thank you, Sharifah.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So, Angelina, what do you have for us?
Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity. I really enjoyed the show. I hope it's going to be more in the future. I would like to wish everyone happy holidays. We're already in November, and because of that, I want to give a discount code of 20%, which is Sharifah 20, and everyone who is watching this show, I guess they could enjoy this discount. We normally don't give such a big discount just because, again, we're a small, tiny business and handmade lingerie business, so we are normally also don't give discounts. But my website is angieshowroom.com, and you can see all our social media, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok, YouTube, on top of the header on the website. So please follow me. And if you have questions about sizes and everything, I always answer to my clients directly. So please shoot me an email or direct message in Instagram. I would love to answer. And yes, please order soon, just because, again, the shipping, and we work on pre-orders. So it's time to order gifts now. Thank you again.
Thank you. It is time to order gifts now. Dr. Robin, help them out with those gifts. Talk to us.
I want everybody listening to ask yourself one question. What if you could have the career and the relationship that you want? That's what I can help you with. So everybody listening, I said it earlier, if you reference the show, you'll get 20% off your first 2 sessions. That doesn't include the strategy session, which is always free. You can find me at drrobinbuckley.com, same name on Instagram and LinkedIn. And sometimes for some people, it just helps to read some of the articles that have been published. So you can go to my website and see my publications, other podcasts, because sometimes it helps get a sense of who I am and what I do. But you can achieve the life you want. It doesn't have to wait, and you don't have to make concessions, and I can help you do that. So thank you.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate you. Mr. Glenn, take us on out.
Well, first of all, Sharifah, thank you for the time today. It's greatly appreciated. And while you're getting that best life that you want and you deserve, have a little chocolate. Pretty simple. Red chocolate is a European chocolate. I always tell everybody, start at our red-chocolate.com. That's our website. From there, you'll find out all of that you need to know about red chocolate. Join the Team Red newsletter. That newsletter comes out monthly. Coupons, recipes, new products, limited batch opportunities. We have a limited batch actually this month on our site, which is from Europe, that we brought over here to the US for folks to try. When you try red, like I always tell people, we are a European chocolate. So therefore, we're kosher, we're non-GMO, we're no sugar added. and we never use palm oils. That's the biggest thing. You're only going to have the best ingredients when you try Red. So go to red-chocolate.com. You'll find out all about us. And like I said, on Instagram, mention this show, and the first 3 folks are going to get a beautiful gift bag that they can either enjoy for themselves, which I would do, but some people like to give it away. What I say is keep one for yourself and give one away. So Sharifah, again, thank you. To the group, thanks a lot. I really appreciate your time. I learned a lot. I think you're a great group of people. I wish you only the best. I know we've exchanged information, and my phone is open 24/7. If I or my team can help you guys in any way, we're here for you, because you know what? We're all doing what we want to do. We're all doing it passionately, and we should help each other as much as we can. So thank you.
Absolutely. I want to thank everyone for being a guest on today's episode of the Roundtable Talk Show. And I especially want to thank everyone who tuned in to watch this show live, as well as everyone who is watching it in the archives. We definitely appreciate your support. We appreciate you watching the show. We appreciate you sharing the show. But as I always ask, please don't just watch. Please don't just share. Support our guests. Visit their websites. All of our guests are giving you discounts, offers, specials, contests, giveaways, so much for you. So please support them. Reach out to them on social media, follow them, send them a message. And when you do, please let them know Sharifah Hardie says hi. Now, if you're interested in more ways that I can help your business, or maybe you want to be a guest on the Roundtable Talk Show, please visit my website at AskSharifah.com. Until tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, everyone have a safe and a blessed day.